Hey y'all. I think I'm early. Let me see. What time is it? Oh, I'm a minute early. So I will give y'all a chance to get on and join me for 10-minute tips today. I am outside with the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees. There is a lizard sitting right across from me, and he gonna get these 10-minute tips just like y'all. So if you can, go ahead and like and share this video. I am Rakisha Godfrey, and this is 10-minute tips for Tuesday, March 31st. Today is the last day of Q1 of 2020. We made it. Barely. But we made it, and we just trucking along. So hi, Marshall. Did I say your name right? So I want to thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to jump right into it just because this one is a little bit more unconventional. It was something that occurred to me earlier today, and I decided I just wanted to come on and get your thoughts about it, because sometimes my mind just takes me all the way out there. So I thought about the fact that some people are saying, you know, and everybody's talking about it, and I think I'm getting to the point where now I'm sick of talking about this virus. But I visited my sister yesterday, and she was like, the virus is tearing down the world. And then I thought for a second, and I was like, we was hanging on by a thread. Like, we were already in crisis. So this virus really is just like a mirror that's been held up to the entire world to show us what's really been going on. And it has shown us about our relationships, about our economy, about the way we treat each other, about how connected we are. And it's like, it's not the virus. I feel like we were already here, because if you recall, when news first broke that America was going to be impacted, certain people reacted in one way and other people reacted in another way. And what I mean by that is a whole bunch of people went out and bought hella toilet paper. There was no indication that there was going to be a toilet paper shortage, but people ran out and started hoarding toilet paper, paper towels, other paper products. There was no news networks that were saying, oh my gosh, there's going to be a toilet paper shortage. Those people were panic buying, and they were hoarding stuff and buying stuff that they never would have bought before, to the point where when I went to Winn-Dixie, and because I usually buy my produce every weekend, I went to Winn-Dixie to get my produce, and the manager was standing at each aisle telling people, you're gonna buy this much toilet paper. They were having like 7-8 packs of toilet paper in their cart, and the manager was saying, she would come into each aisle and saying, just so you know, we're not gonna accept returns, and we're not gonna issue refunds for any of this when all of this blows over. So the way that you react to news of the virus is probably the same way that you react to any kind of bad news. So if you're reacting like this to the virus, chances are you react this way when there's a hurricane. You probably react this way if the stock market drops. No matter what, this is a mirror for how you would usually react to anything. So if you reacted by going out and hoarding stuff, and you knew that you were not going to use any of that stuff, or even the majority of the stuff that you bought, that's your mirror. That's showing that this is how you really are, that you're not considerate of other people in your community, that you are not considerate of, you know, the needs of other people, and that's your mirror. That's a reflection of who you are. And it's the same thing for businesses. That's the second thing. There are some businesses who immediately laid off their workers, didn't give them no severance, didn't give them no kind of notice, anything like that. Those people might not get their last paycheck. They don't know. The company's just temporarily closed. Those are businesses that also have a mirror up to them, because this is how they treat their people in times of crisis. And one thing that I've learned over time is the way that you treat people always comes back on you. So these companies that are temporarily closing, not trying to take care of their people, when they open again, they're going to have to hire. And guess what? The people that were their reliable workers, that were showing up on time, that were giving 110%, those people not coming back. And it's hard to find good help. I'm telling you, it's hard to find good help. So those businesses that now are using this as an excuse to mistreat their workers, to not communicate, to not be clear to them, that's a mirror for them, that this is how they treat their employees, and they're going to suffer for it. It's not me prophesying over their business. I'm not speaking negative things. This is the truth. If you are mistreating people during this pandemic, that's a reflection of how you really are. That's a reflection of who you really are. So if you're using this as an excuse, oh, I'm not going to check on her, I'm not going to talk to her, I'm not going to treat my employees right, cool. I'm going to make a little mental note, and I'm going to say, all right, now I know who I'm dealing with. And that's what's happening to a lot of entities, whether it's the government, whether it's businesses, or even individuals. A lot of people have that mirror up to them, and now we're able to see how they truly are, and they're showing how they truly feel. So some people feel like, oh, all of this stuff is happening and everybody's stressed. Yes, but guess what? This is a reflection of how you handle stress. If you don't take care of yourself when you're stressed, you're probably not taking care of yourself right now. If you're not checking on your friends, your family, your neighbors during this time, chances are when you're stressed out any other time, you also don't check on your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, or anybody else. So this is, it's an unprecedented event in terms of how widespread it is. But to me, this is just another example of a stressful event. It's just that now it's worldwide. And I'll be clear, I grew up in Florida. I survived Hurricane Andrew. I talk about years and memories in terms of hurricanes. So I will talk about 2005. When I talk about 2005, I talk about Katrina. When I talk about the late 90s, I talk about Andrew. So that is how I communicate. So it's like, I am familiar with surviving natural disasters, with distancing, with going without. The 2005 hurricane season, we went 11 days straight without power. So I recognize that I'm coming from a place of privilege in terms of the fact that I've lived through several natural disasters, and I feel good about being able to survive and hunker down. But if you're one of those people who's hard-headed and you're like, nobody can tell me anything, you're probably also one of those people who's refusing to social distance, who's refusing to physically distance yourself. And so that's your mirror too. If you're one of those people who is going to allow your mistrust for the government or for whatever entity has some authority in your life, if you struggle with authority, chances are you're also one of those people who's struggling to stay home, who's struggling to follow the guidelines of the CDC. So it's not just the virus. The virus is a mirror for how fragile our economy is. It's a mirror for how fragile your relationships are. It's a mirror for how fragile your self-care routine has been. So you can look at it how you want to look at it, but how I'm choosing to look at it is this is a reflection of where we've always been. But now we can't run from it anymore. We can't run from the fact that so many Americans are living check to check. We can't run from the fact that, hell, now we know some businesses living check to check. Can you believe that? Like, I did not realize that there were so many companies that were living payroll to payroll to the point where they cannot miss 2 weeks of having customers and still be able to make payroll. So while normal people are in what is Dave Ramsey's course called, financial fitness or whatever, while normal people are like, yeah, we got to have $1,000 in savings, we got to try to get 6 months of emergency funds. Meanwhile, the companies that we're working for cannot manage to miss 2 weeks without getting customers and still be able to pay their bills. And then on top of that, now we got all these industries that are threatening to go belly up because of everything that's happening. So you got the cruise industry, which, by the way, has registered most of the cruise lines registered as foreign entities so that they can avoid American employment laws. Now they're looking for bailouts. The airlines are looking for bailouts. The banks. Everybody's looking for bailouts, and it's been less than a month. But they've been preaching to normal people that you need to get your finances in order. You need to fix your credit. You need to have emergency funds. But lo and behold, it looked like the whole thing was hanging on by a thread. All of us. It's impacting all of us. All of us. And it's impacting people in different ways. Like, I'm sure people of means are like in Martha's Vineyard or whatever, but the average everyday American and the average everyday American company, all of us have been impacted. And the coronavirus is the mirror that's showing us that nobody had their shit together the way that they had people thinking that they did. That's companies, that's people, that's entities, corporations, whatever. Everybody right now is trying to figure out how they're going to manage through this, because they keep pushing these dates back. First it was April, now they saying May 1st. My personal prediction is September, but y'all don't have to listen to me because I'm not the CDC, but I personally am preparing to be in this hunker down until Labor Day weekend. So I just felt like if people change the way that they look at it and they change the way that they thought about it, and just said, this is a stressful situation. It's stressful for everybody. This is a stressor. It's a stressful situation, and it's a stressor for your relationships, for your finances, for your business, for your goals. But if you were to pivot and then say, I need to learn how to better manage my stress. So this is a stressful situation? Yes. So I'm going to prepare. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to have faith. I'm not going to lean on fear. And I'm going to trust that I have everything I need to get through this. If you were to decide that that's how you're going to approach this, you will be much better off than if you sat in the house all day singing the Woe Is Me song, trying to figure out how you can blame somebody else for where you are in life right now. And if that's how you usually approach everything, is trying to play the blame game, that's how you're going to approach getting through this pandemic. But if you decided right now today that I'm going to have more faith than fear, that I'm going to have more prayer, and that I'm going to focus more on the fact that I believe that I was born with everything I need to get exactly where God wants me to be, and that I still have a purpose to fulfill, that I still have an appointment and a mission, and that I still have an inheritance that I need to claim. If you can receive that right now today, I promise you, you will get through this and you will come out so much better on the other side than if you decided, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be scared every day and I'm going to be woe is me and I'm going to give into depression and fear and anxiety. And I'm here to tell y'all, I have lived through some dark, dark days. So you cannot ever come to me. I am not the one. I am not the one to tell your woe is me stories to. That I'm not the one, because I have been in the darkest, in the deepest pits. So you cannot come to me and tell me about how you ain't got no money, because I have not had money before. You cannot tell me how you are hungry and you skipping meals, because I've been there. So I know that you can come out of it. So I'm not going to sit here and tell nobody nothing that I don't know for myself. So I'm not sitting here just saying, just to try to make you feel good. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I've been through. You can get through the darkest and the toughest and the deepest places. You can come out of this, but you have to decide that this is how you're going to handle it. And if you never make that decision, don't come in my inbox complaining and crying, because I can't help you. Because I've been there and I know what it takes to come out of it. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you, you can come out of this, but you got to do the work. You can't come out of it by blaming other people, by waiting for other people. Everybody's talking about this stimulus check. I'm not waiting on no stimulus check. First of all, that $1,200 funky ass dollars, that's really not going to make a huge difference. It's not going to build generational wealth. It's not going to break no cycles of being broken. It's not going to break no poverty for nobody. That $1,200 is not going to make a huge difference. So if you're sitting around waiting for that, I'm here to tell you, your breakthrough is going to come without that money. The breakthrough that you need is going to come without that money. So if you sitting around waiting for that money, like, yeah, my $1,200 coming through, baby, the thing that you need to accomplish, you're going to be able to do that without that money. You're going to be able to get through it without waiting for the government to come bail you out. You're not like these businesses where you losing billions. You can get in, you can get online, you can make something, you can sell something, you can come out of this without having to rely on nobody else to bail you out. You can bail yourself out, but you have to decide that you want to get out of it. And that was the difference for me. I had to decide. I had people praying for me. Listen, my uncle has a church. My grandfather is a pastor. Like, I come from praying people. There were people praying for me, and I felt their prayers, but I could not make a difference until I decided for myself that I was going to make a difference. It was no prayer that nobody said for me. It was me. It was me making that decision that I'm tired of being in this place. I'm tired of having this woe is me mindset. I'm tired of being in this space. What I mean by that is mentally in this space where everything is a rebuttal, where I'm trying to find something wrong with everything. Until you decide that you tired of being in that place, you gonna stay there. And I know this because I stayed there for years. And you're wasting time. Right now is the perfect time for you to reconnect with your family, for you to reconnect with your goals, for you to reconnect with who you are, for you to pause and just listen. If you just listen to everything that you have been ignoring. Listen to that voice inside your head that's telling you exactly what you need to do. That's telling you exactly what you need to say and where you need to go and where you need to be. If you pause and you listen to that voice, I promise you, you'll know exactly what you need to do. But until you get there, you gonna blame this virus. You gonna blame your mom and your daddy. You gonna blame your uncles, your auntie. You gonna blame everybody else until you say, it's me. Because you the only common denominator for everybody that you ever dealt with. You the only common denominator. And I used to be one of those people who had a problem with everybody. I got a problem with her, him. Until I looked around, I was like, wait a minute. Let me do some math. I'm the least common denominator for all of these people. If you got a problem with everybody in your circle, you the problem, not them people. And so right now you have to put up your mirror and say, this is how my life is. My life might be in shambles. My life might be lovely. But I am taking responsibility and I'm going to be accountable for how my life is right now. I'm not going to blame no virus. I'm not going to blame the government. I'm going to get up and figure out how I'm going to get me and my family through this. That's how I want y'all to look at this. So that's all I have today, and I'm looking off because the lizard disappeared. And I don't like lizards, and I don't want it to be. If it get on me, I promise I'm gonna act a fool. So that's why I was looking to the side. But I want to thank y'all for watching, and if I hurt your feelings, sorry not sorry. I hope that you wake up, that you reset, and that you decide that today is the first day of the rest of your life. So thank y'all for joining. If you're not already a member, you can join my Facebook group called Crafters Plus Creators. You can find more information about my products and services on my website at Rikisha.com. And you can subscribe to my YouTube at The Craftinista Life. Thank you so much for joining. I love y'all. Bye.